You're watching my Mealtime Monday on March 2nd, 2015. This is Lisa, and this is what I'm eating today. For my first meal of the day, I'm making 5 boiled eggs. I'm just going to be eating 1 this morning, and then I'll be having 2 tomorrow and then 2 the next day. I'm going to have the boiled egg, some yogurt, and a banana for this breakfast. So now that they're boiled, I'm just going to strain them, and then I'm going to run them under cool water so that they're easier to shell and so that they stop cooking. So now I'm going to eat my breakfast. Boiled egg, some peach yogurt, and a banana. Let's see how perfect this boiled egg is. Oh, would you look at that. Simply delicious. Stay tuned for what I'm going to have for lunch. Hey guys, so now it's lunchtime and I'm having some shepherd's pie that Matthew made. It's made with ground turkey. I also have a recipe for a vegan one. You can make it with ground beef, ground pork, whatever you choose, but we chose ground turkey. I will put the vegan YouTube video recipe link below, and then you can check that out if you want a vegan alternative. So I'm also having some celery and some cucumber, and I've got my supplements that I take, which if you've been following, you know I take fish oil, probiotics, and a prenatal. And I've got a liter of water right here. Before I taste this, I also want to mention that even though I said I was going to cut down on the bread and bread products, I didn't really do that yet. I kind of put my foot in my mouth there because technically we had some stuff we had to get rid of, and there was something I wanted to try that I hadn't tried in a long time, and I know it's not necessarily healthy, but fish cakes, they weren't as good as I remember because they don't have the brand that I used to like anymore. But anyways, yeah, so as soon as we get rid of all those bread-like products, pastries, whatever, crackers, then I will be cutting bread out fully, but so far I have cut out rice. You'll see that I ate rice in one of the photos that I took for this week's food. However, that's about it. So anyway, here goes. I'm gonna give it a shot, see if Matt is good at what he does. Good job, Matthew.
Thanks.
So delicious. Instead of just using plain out potato, he used a combination of potato and sweet potato, and so that makes it ultra delish. Then he put some onions with the ground turkey and tomato sauce and ketchup, organic ketchup, so good. And then for the vegetables, he put baby carrots and green beans and yellow beans. It's so good, guys. Come back later and you're gonna see me make a recipe for a bowl that I normally get at Freshie restaurant. And it was getting expensive because I'll have one a week plus like a juice or smoothie. So I decided it's time to make my own. So it's a kale bowl with chicken, and you'll see that recipe at supper time. Now it's supper time, and I'm going to make that kale bowl that I was talking to you guys about. It's technically called a Buddha bowl. I feel like this is a great substitute for when your bank balance is starting to thin out, if you know what I mean. I have chicken, crispy onions, green onion, red onion. Yes, I know, a lot of variations of onion here. Actually, they use crispy wontons, but we didn't have any, so we're substituting for crispy onions. Then I have some spinach, carrot, kale, beets, shredded beets, and the sauce is Mr. Spice Organic Salt-Free, Gluten-Free Thai peanut sauce. And it's delicious. I don't know if that's what they use at Freshie, but it tastes like it. So I'm pretty excited to make my kale bowl today. So as you see, I've got some gloves on here. I don't like getting beet on my hands because of course it stains them pink. Of course I love the color pink, but I don't want my hands to be pink. So anyway, I'm wearing them for that reason. Chicken, there's 2 thigh each in there, so 4 total if you're having this for 2 people. 3 tablespoons of crispy onions, 3 tablespoons of green onion, a couple of small handfuls of red onion, 2 large handfuls of spinach. This is basically a salad, but it's so delicious. When I first started getting it, I used to get it with rice noodles, and then I realized that they had, instead of a rice noodle base, you could substitute it for a kale base, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that. 2 medium handfuls of shredded carrot, 4 leaves of kale, 2 medium handfuls of beets. I'm just gonna mix it all together. And the good thing about making your own is that you get to make more than what they give you. Now, I'm not dissing or knocking Freshie. If you got the money, go there. That's if you have a Freshie in your town, of course. So now I'm gonna remove the gloves and put in the peanut sauce. I'm gonna eyeball it, but I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna put 3 or 4 tablespoons of this in there. It's pretty thick, but it's super delicious. Now I'm gonna put the gloves back on, just so I can mix it again with the peanut sauce this time. All right, so there you have it. I'm gonna show you some pictures from what I ate in the past week. Now I'm gonna give it a shot. Delicious. I don't know what they use in their chicken, but their chicken is definitely different. And the beets are a little stronger, so I would suggest letting your beets dry out a little bit so that they're not quite as strong. And then I think crispy wontons made the big difference. Anyway, it's overall really good, and now I can have kale bowls whenever I wish, and if I don't feel like making them, I can still go to Freshie. I hope you enjoyed this week's Mealtime Monday, and that if you make this kale bowl or anything, if I've inspired you, that would be great. But I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. Namaste. That same crunch I find it's not giving it that same crunch. I find it's not giving it that same crunch because they're shaped differently and they're just different